In the Overwatch chat, there's a command called /list, which returns a full list of users who are part of the chat. In other words, if you use the command /list in quick play, you'd get the full list of players who are part of that quick play game. Before the launch of Overwatch 2, Overwatch 1 used to have a general chat that could be accessed in the main menus, and when you use the /list command, it would return the full list of users who are part of that specific general chat, for a grand total of 50 players. Using it, we can view the profile of the players in this list. The general chat is a collection of up to 50 players who are randomly assigned to each chat room. Because the list is a randomly selected sample size of all online players, we can use this to conduct a representative study on the player base. To conduct this random sampling study, we gathered 36 volunteers to collect data on career profile visibility. Each volunteer checked the profiles of 5 randomly selected players in each general chat. The volunteers were instructed to collect data every 30 minutes at a minimum of 7 times at any point during the week. Since we select a random set from the random chat at a random time, I guess this turns a study into a random sample. Anyways, after a week, we were able to collect data on a total of 1,520 user profiles, so thanks to Aichi's viewers who participated during the making of this video in Overwatch 1. Now that we've explained how the random sampling data was collected, it's time to announce the results. Drumroll please. There were a total of 503 players with public career profiles, which is roughly 33% of the users. Meanwhile, there were a total of 1,017 players with private career profiles, which equates to 66%. Essentially, based on the result, every 2 out of 3 players have their career profiles private. With a rough estimate of players in Korea, we can suppose the percentage of error to be around 2.51%. So at least on the Korean servers, there was a 95% chance of the rate of private career profiles being between 64.5% to 69.5%. There was another interesting finding during the study. This is the graph of the data collected, with the x-axis being time and the y-axis being the number of private career profiles. This was originally made to view the timeline of the study, but we noticed that there wasn't a single time when the data was collected where all 5 randomly selected players had their career profile public. Some of you might argue against the validity of this study when you consider the fact that data was not collected across all time intervals. But if you think about it, regardless of age or gender, most people play the game around similar hours. I mean, relatively speaking, what percentage of players would realistically be online at 4 AM on a weekday? The volunteers would collect the data for their most convenient times, which should roughly correspond to the popular play times, with more volunteers collecting data during peak hours. But of course, to acknowledge the flaw of this study, the information is relative to the Korean servers, so this can't be a perfect representation of the percentage of private career profiles across all regions. But I do think that it wouldn't be far too off. If anything, the percentage of private career profiles are most likely higher coming into Overwatch 2, because by default, career profiles are set to private, so most new players are also likely to have their career profiles private as well. Hope you found this interesting, and if you have any questions or studies we can try to conduct in the future, let us know in the comments below.